This is just outside of Cody, Wyoming. Just getting back from Cody. This is coming into this really wild, interesting looking rock. We're on the Shoshone River, just on our way back into Yellowstone from Cody, Wyoming. They say this resembles a profile of the holy city, Jerusalem. That's kind of interesting. This rock is called breccia. We thought it was going to be sandstone or limestone or something like that, but they call it breccia. But it is really a fantastically unique, and that looks almost like a duck, doesn't it? And then, of course, the Shoshone River down here. Absolutely gorgeous river. And you can see all the way up the side, the Shoshone River has carved this canyon out over there too. You can see all the way around us. Just fantastic looking rock. Really unique rock formation all the way around us. Quite stunning. Then of course there's the world famous backyard professor truck. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, baby. Anyway, okay, we've gone full circle, that's it. Okay, we're here on the Shoshone River, just outside the east entrance of Yellowstone National Park. I do believe that is called Eagle Point or Eagle Peak, the highest peak in Yellowstone. That is it. It is quite the mountain. That is quite a good looking peak. You can see over here some of the lower mountain. Okay, here we are in the middle of our vacation, and it's snowing on us. Woohoo! Labor Day, 2008, Monday. Look at the snowfall. Look at the snow accumulating on the ground. Wow. It's got a beauty all its own, doesn't it? Yeah, it's got a beauty all its own as long as it's a long way away, and I'm right smack dab in the middle of it. That's what you call impeccable backyard professor timing for a vacation. Woohoo! Okay, I gotta go back to driving now. This is Roger Wilco over and out. Good buddy. Hang on, I gotta drive. Now, I've been sharing with you some of the ideas from some of the various explorers about their expeditions. Let me share some ideas from Richard Wellington and George Potter. This is in the Journal of Book of Mormon Studies, Volume 15, Number 2, 2006 again. Their article is Lehi's Trail from the Valley of Lemuel to Nephi's Harbor. On page 29 in this journal, here's what Wellington and Potter have said. I'll just read parts of their selections, and that way you can see how so many different explorers are finding so much, and the impact is enormous here for the Book of Mormon. It's based on a real world geography. It's based on a real place in Saudi Arabia and Yemen and Oman. After leaving the Valley of Lemuel, the party traveled 4 days to a place that they themselves called Shazer, where they pitched their tents and hunted. That's 1 Nephi 16, 13 through 14. Now, regarding the place name Shazer, Hugh Nibley wrote, "The name is intriguing because the combination of Shazer, Shajer, is quite common in Palestinian place names. It is a collective meaning trees, and many Arabs, especially in Egypt, pronounce it Shazer." Nigel Groom uses a number of variations of the same place name, Shajir, Shajir, being one of them identical to Nibley's Shazer, Shajer. Groom's definition of Shazer is a valley or area abounding with trees and shrubs. Lehi's first camp after the Valley of Lemuel now must have been at an authorized halt along the Gaza branch of the Frankincense Trail. Otherwise, he would not have been allowed to stop for an extended period. So we begin to look for a caravanserai in a valley with trees. That would have been about a 4-day journey from the Valley of Lemuel. In the early 20th century, Alois Musil traveled and made meticulous maps of the northern Hijaz, the land between Midian and Medina, where the next leg of the Gaza branch of the Frankincense Trail passed. So, see, here we have other scholars who aren't even thinking of the Book of Mormon, who are doing our work for us. They are producing the maps. This map is very interesting that Musil drew up. He described his journey down Wadi Agar, Agharr, Wadi Agar, also known as Wadi Sharma, a wadi, that is a mountain valley, about 60 miles southeast of the Valley of Lemuel. Musil recorded this. Here's how Musil said this. He said, "We crossed the old pilgrim road of Rasafiji, I believe it's pronounced, leading southward to the hills of Qas al-Kain, Hanan." Boy, that's tough to pronounce these Arabic words, isn't it? It's Kosalhnane. You know, so much for being learned. I'm a dunderhead when it comes to Arabic. I need to learn it. Right now I'm focusing on Hebrew. But anyway, this is the other place name. Leading southward to these hills where spirits abide. Now, interestingly, date palms were still growing in parts of the valley, so that the oasis of Sarma could be extended a full 25 kilometers to the east. Musil described a fertile valley with an oasis over 15 miles long. This fertile valley is approximately south-southeast from our candidate for the Valley of Lemuel, and was crossed by the old pilgrim route that followed the Gaza arm of the ancient Frankincense Trail. So interestingly, we found Musil's description of Agar most interesting because on a prior map in Midian, we had been told by the police general at al-Bada that the best hunting in the entire region was in the mountains at Agar. They had hunting available to them. Keep that in mind, because that's what Nephi described. The leading expert on the trail of northwest Arabia is Abdullah al-Wahhabi of King Saud University. Al-Wahhabi noted the names and orders of the halts or the rest stops on the Al-Murika route, another name for the old Ar-Rasifiji road that Musil had mentioned. He wrote that according to various medieval Arabic geographers, the first rest stop after Midian was Al-Agra. Musil had previously noted the similarities in the names Al-Agra and Wadi Agar and concluded that the rest stop was in this wadi. In connection with the Book of Mormon locale Shazer, where Lehi's party stopped to hunt, and whose meaning in Arabic, as noted earlier, was a valley or an area abounding with trees and shrubs, we now have evidence from independent sources that the first rest stop after Midian, or the ancient Gaza branch of the Frankincense Trail, was in a fertile valley with trees. Wadi Agar and the surrounding mountains presented the best hunting opportunities along the trail. And on page 30 he shows a picture, and the mountains are absolutely gigantic. They remind me of the Grand Tetons in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And there's just hundreds of trees at this oasis. Get this edition of the Journal of Book of Mormon Studies and look at this picture. It's a very impressive picture.